It's John and Rachel, YaJagoff.
Read your script,
late
Rach.
night.
Yeah.
We're just getting our last minute notes because, we like to do things on the fly here. By the way, where is here? It's 5000 McKnight Road, and this is where you should be every Friday night from 5:30 to 6:30 while we're recording this. And this is YaJagoff Late Night. If you're listening to it on the radio, make sure you come back every Friday. Mm-hmm. If you're listening to it on a podcast or watching it on YouTube or Facebook, subscribe to it.
And how
please.
funny is when people are like, late night, I don't know that I could stay up. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, you guys. Clearly,
right.
It's not late. It's just for us late. So we hope we see you the next time because we enjoy having a little audience.
Because
like
what
do
we
tonight.
have tonight even?
Well,
Jenny Lee.
Swirl
cinnamon
bread.
swirl bread.
We have raisin bread. We have all kinds of stuff because they literally sent us with a box of stuff.
And we
you
have
never know.
Special treat that we'll see later.
Well, I was going to say that could sort of segue us to the treat of all treats that we've been forgetting to mention because guess what? There's like many people interested in this already. April the 21st, we are celebrating National Picnic Day, which is April 23rd. So if you come to the block Northway, you are going to see at least a dozen different confectionaries, bakeries, foodies who have copies of insurance people. I love that like Aunt Sue wants to come and make her Jell-O salad. It can't happen, you guys. We have to make sure that like you license this stuff. So there will be 12 different people who have paired up with charities, and you get to come taste test and tell us what you think.
And that event is the Strawberry Jell-O Pretzel Salad Standoff, which is going to be at the block at Northway. Again, it's free. You just come and eat and then give us your opinion on who the best one is.
Pittsburgh, you're good at that. SJPS, you love to give your opinion on who makes the best. So come check it out. And especially somebody who may have won last year may be coming into the studio tonight.
Dropping by the neighborhood, just like Mr. McFeely.
Yeah, dropping off goodies, I hope.
Right.
All right, what was on the blog? And then we'll tell you who
what
else
was
is
on the
gonna be
blog.
on.
First of all, we did the first ever YaJagoff home show. So you might not have made it to the home show. Maybe you did. You paid for all this parking and you're like, wow, that was, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we did a home show with KB Plumbing and some special lighting and dryer vents and cleaning and then hubby from Screen Mobile. All these things were happening. And we talked to them for about 45 minutes. The good news is, if you missed it, you're not out because you could go watch the YaJagoff Home Show on our YouTube channel.
Rewatch it. Rewind.
We talk
Just
about
hit
plumbing
rewind.
issues and how to keep your house up to date.
And then we went into the March Madness hack. I'm tired of March Madness, you guys. I'm super proud, super proud that Duquesne is in it, okay? But I'm over March Madness. My husband is watching it continuously. So you wrote about the blog.
Yeah,
Was
we
it
had
about
a hack.
my husband? No.
We had a hack
Okay.
because we think that they should design a computer keyboard key
Yes.
that you just, while you're watching March Madness in the office, if the boss walks by, boop, hit the key, and suddenly a spreadsheet comes up.
That is Schitt's Creek, if you remember. Boop. She would just like... she would
So
do this
there
all
you
the time.
go.
I know you didn't see
so
it, John.
it's a hack. And then
All right.
our third post that we're going to talk about was
You
we did a
guys,
visit to
you
Valley
shared
Dairy.
it like crazy.
Yeah.
So clearly you love yourselves from some Valley Dairy. We had such a great time. We acted like it was a really long trip. It wasn't. We drove to Latrobe. But we went to the home of the banana split. And oh my gosh, that was amazing. But we didn't just deal with the banana split. We had breakfast and lunch.
We had the haystack, which was
Yeah.
incredible. And then we had this cheeseburger thing, which was
This thing.
grilled cheese
Yeah.
and hamburgers in between.
No
Anyways,
vegan.
make
No
sure you
vegan
go
will
watch
like
the
it.
YaJagoff
Yeah.
on the YaJagoff.com.
We will be munching on some things tonight, especially some strawberry Jell-O pretzel salad. Jay is stopping by, and he also brought his dear friend, who we are now friends with, Ryan Douglas. Ryan is a dear friend of mine, believe it or not. My dad actually coached him. Yeah, check it out. He has an amazing event that's coming up for some local kids, and we're having a quarterly guest.
Yeah, Jared, from the CEO, president
That's
of Visit
Jared.
Pittsburgh. Going to talk all about the NFL draft pitch. And we have our musician.
Kelley Jeanne, and she brought her partner to sing with her, and we cannot wait to hear her. She's back from Nashville. She just dropped a song. We get to check it out. First, check out some Mitch Minutes and stay with us on YaJagoff Late Night.
I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and it's got everything anybody could want. There's a lot of things in Pittsburgh I like to do. Pittsburgh has a lot to offer, I think, being born and raised here. The parks are one of them. And there's lots of places to hike in and around Pittsburgh. I started hiking, I think, during COVID, like most people, getting out of the house because, cabin fever, that kind of thing. I mean, Pittsburgh's great, right? You have, Shenley Park, Frick Park. You can go out to McConnell's Mill, Raccoon State Park. I am not prepared to randomly hike No. It's all, I'm prepared to work. That's all I do. So if I'm going to go hiking or biking or something, it's definitely I have to do it around my work schedule. I always take my cell phone with me wherever I go. I'm checking my emails more than everybody likes. Well, it depends on the weather, right? So, I think it's heavily dependent on the weather and how you dress. So that would be most important. Socks and shoes. Tennis shoes, if it's a short hike, I have some hiking shoes, which are, fancy tennis shoes, right? Right. And, you just download an app on your phone in case you get lost, you know where you're going is a good thing to have. And if it's a hot summer day, then you definitely want to have bug spray. If you're worried about ticks, probably long sleeves, and a bottle of water bring with you if it's a hot day. Does this get edited? Check. Did you guys edit these?
Yes, that's exactly what.
I listen to YaJagoff's podcast, and you should too.
It's John and Rachel. Look where we are.
East Ohio Street. Look there.
It's
Wait.
They're open.
It's
they
finally
are open.
open.
Bistro to go, baby.
Let's go. Hey guys.
Oh my God! It's Harry. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the best turkey burgers.
I know.
You've been craving them forever.
Harry.
Oh my God!
It's Harry, right?
Larry.
Harry.
It's
Oh.
Larry.
Dude,
Oh my God!
what's
We haven't seen you
up?
in forever. Did you miss us? Oh, we missed you.
Yeah, we missed you. Look at all of this.
Yes,
Oh
you're
my
open
gosh.
again, and we are so excited
Right.
to be here at Bistro to go.
Are you taking our order or what?
Quick question for you: is Eileen still here?
How about Alfred? Is he still here?
We don't have an Alfred here.
Oh, Rach, nobody knows their name.
Dun, 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 dun.
You got it.
Dun, 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 dun. Making your way in the world today
To
takes
Bistro
everything
to
you
go.
got. Get here, Jagoffs.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich! Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
YaJagoff Late Night, and we are at 5000 McKnight Road again, where we're recording this, and you should come because we have all kind of treats. As a matter of fact, our guest right here is a quarterly guest, and he can attest that this new me, new us on the YaJagoff Late Night is really much better than a normal podcast. Jared Bachar, President and CEO of Visit Pittsburgh. How are you?
I'm well. It's good to see you again.
Yeah,
We
well,
love
thanks.
serving you fine wine in a red Solo cup.
He questioned
I
the
think-
fine part.
I was going to say fine is a little bit of a stretch, but there's wine. There's wine. Yeah.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks. We appreciate that.
I don't know how else you're going to get guests here on a Friday
That's
afternoon.
true.
Well, do
During
you know
happy
how we
hour
get
time.
them? We keep personal items of theirs so
Oh.
that they have to come back.
We're
and
smart.
you would know
There is
this. You would know this firsthand. Is
Because
your,
you keep giving us things.
your scarf.
Yeah, you held it as for ransom. Like
did.
it you were not going to let me have it back, which is my favorite scarf.
Yeah.
So I had to come back on the show. So here we are.
The
I don't know
good
what you're
news
going to
is
do
we're
next
giving
time.
it to you as
Today.
spring breaks.
Yeah,
So that's really
exactly.
good, right?
It's
Yeah.
fair. The timing is perfect.
We had it
Jared.
dry cleaned while you were not here.
Oh, that's
You-
kind.
We did
That's
it all.
kind.
Smell
That's
it.
good.
You know we
I'm
didn't.
lying.
That's kind.
We adore having you. You know that we're not just saying that. We have you as a quarterly guest for a reason because, first of all, you are so interesting and you really do bring things to light that we don't think about all the time. But secondly, Visit Pittsburgh. As we've said before, you could probably play back prior episodes. You guys have the finger on the pulse of what's happening in our city. So obviously, we would be remiss if we didn't at least start with March Madness. This has been amazing.
It's incredible. So this
Yeah.
is the 7th time that Pittsburgh has hosted round 1 and 2 of March Madness playoffs. So it's
Okay.
really a great opportunity for the city.
Sure.
The last time it was here was 2022. And when it was here in 2022, we had a little over 20,000 people come into Pittsburgh for March Madness. Fills up the hotel, certainly in the downtown area. But we had the teams arrive on Wednesday night in 10 different hotels. They all had kind of a different arrival experience. So there was their theme song was loud and proud in all of the lobbies of these hotels. The teams
Sure.
were arriving. Like, it was such a great opportunity for them to just create some electricity around their team and their fans and their support network. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
When that happens, do you go downtown to kind of hang out down there and kind of watch it all happen, you and your team?
Do you crowd
Are you
surf?
working, or are you kind of just, you know, you get
Yeah.
to go down and kind of, wow, this is pretty awesome.
So our sports division, which is Sports Pittsburgh, they're the ones that lead the bid submission
Okay.
for all of the NCAA championships. So we'll work in this case with Duquesne University to host the March Madness championships here in Pittsburgh. So our staff is on site. So when the teams arrive and really leading all the way up through the weekend prior, they're on the ground. They're making sure that all of the arrival experience is planned out, that it's going to go well. So our team is working hard to deliver it. So it's a great partnership, but we'll work with Division 1, 2, and 3 schools from across the region whenever we're hosting any kind of an NCAA championship.
Rachel, can I steal one more question?
I
Because
guess.
this is
I keep going.
And since your team is down there working this week or the week before, what year are they working on also to get this back? What year are they?
That's a great,
Yeah, so we just submitted in January 31 bids for future NCAA championships. Again, that's NCAA Division 1, 2, and 3, but 31 new championship bids, and that's for 27 and 28.
Wow. There you go.
Okay, so perfect segue, because you go from that into the last time you were on, we asked you about this. Do we have any kind of update on the bid for the NFL draft?
The draft.
Yes.
So we don't have an update yet.
Okay.
Once we submitted that bid in January, the next step really is for the NFL to analyze our bid. And we were talking before, the bid is such a major process. So
Sure.
you have to go through the process of creating the marketing aspect of it. So we have a slide deck, a pitch deck that we put together to talk about all the amazing things that Pittsburgh has to offer in an event of
Sure.
that size. It also goes into the legacy of football within Southwestern PA, which we know is pretty rich. And then there's a couple of videos that we created to go along with that. But then there's also the legal side. We had to do contracting with all the various venues and so forth. And then we also had to do the logistical proof for the NFL to say, look, we can host this in Pittsburgh, and this is how it looks. They have quite an extensive questionnaire that they put out for all of the host destinations. So we submitted that. The next step now is the owners meet in May. They decide, and then
Wow,
we'll know
so
shortly
it's coming.
after that.
Yeah.
We'll know
wow.
soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feels like it was forever whenever you were here before. So
Yeah.
we're
And we
getting
started
there.
this bid process 18 months ago. So
Wow.
it's been forever, for sure.
And
Wow.
it's crazy to think how much work goes into it. And it's when people wonder, what do the Visit Pittsburgh people do? This is it, right?
This is what we do,
You
yeah.
have been putting together this big proposal for 18 months.
Well, absolutely. And let
Yeah.
me just see if I can give you a snapshot of what we do in a pretty easy way. So this week alone, hosting March Madness, that's a pretty major accomplishment for the destination, along with our partners. Let me also preface that we
sure.
don't
Yes.
do anything alone.
Right.
We do it with the over 650 active business partners all year long. But on top of that, we have convention clients in. We had 8 different convention clients in just this week alone, either coming in to look for a bid that we've submitted, or they're coming in to plan a convention that's already awarded to Pittsburgh. We also have a media tour, an arts and cultural media tour. So we have got 8 journalists in town this week touring all of the various cultural venues, museums, and so forth.
Sure.
Having different experiences, talking to local Pittsburghers about what arts and culture means here locally. So then they will all go away and talk about Pittsburgh within their own,
I see.
their own channels.
Sure.
And
Is that like customary? Do other cities do that? That's something that happens regularly.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize.
Is
that.
that similar
Okay.
to a bunch of foodies getting invited to a new restaurant? Like, they
Kind of, yeah.
You
Kind of.
invite
Our
them here
place.
to write whatever they can write.
We will have traditional journalists come in, people that write for Condé Nast or some other traditional travel publications that you would
Okay.
know. We also do influencer trips. So the opening weekend for the Pirates coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We have a group of sports influencers that are coming in just to talk about all things sports. So we're hosting them obviously at PNC Park, but then they're going to go to the Hall of Honors over at Acrisure Stadium. All of these kind of things that are related to sports. They'll go to the Clemente Museum and all these kind of things
Wow.
to really get them talking about this. Our comms team does such a great job. Last year, they got over 2,000 articles published
Wow.
on Pittsburgh
Oh my gosh.
around the world. They achieved about 5.5 billion media impressions from those 2,000 articles alone.
Wow,
That
kudos,
is
right?
yeah.
Just telling the story of Pittsburgh.
So let me ask you this: if you have Jags come in, will we be the people who influence it?
I feel like that would be a
All
good
right.
fit.
We
tracks
accept
well.
it.
Yeah,
we
that
can take
tracks
that.
well.
Yeah.
I feel like we could also be good harassers when other
Yes,
when,
if you don't like
when the
someone.
Ravens come into
Yeah.
town or the Browns come to
There you
town,
go.
like we could be just
We're good at that.
walking around with sandwich
Yeah.
boards.
Is this like a
outside of
Jagoff
hotels.
crew?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's that whole
Who
thing.
can out-jag
it'd be
each
like,
other?
Yeah.
Jagoffs activate. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jared, we talked before you took to the couch, and we talked about the fact that there are so many things coming up. We cannot fast forward this weather quickly enough.
Absolutely.
We love spring. We love that it's coming, but we really want to get to summer. We heard the news of TRAF. We know Pride Month, all kinds of things. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Well, we were talking, Pride and Arts Fest. It seems like it's so early this year because Arts Fest
It's
is kicking
May.
off May 31st,
Yeah.
even though it's almost to June. Then the first Saturday in June, June 1st, is when Pride celebration is.
Yeah.
The first Saturday of Arts Fest. So it's going to be just insane downtown in
Yeah.
such a good way. So that's really exciting. But just for me, this is also a season of music, even beyond the Tim McGraws and the Def Leppards and
And
those
the Sugar
concerts
Hill
coming
Gang.
back.
Oh my
and the
God.
Sugar Hill Gang,
Yes.
absolutely. Those kind of concerts are coming back, of course, throughout the year. But even beyond that, we have so many amazing independent music venues all across this region.
Great point, yeah.
Dresky Entertainment does a phenomenal job.
Yes.
They're hosting a concert this year, or a festival at Cary Furnace called Four Chord Music Festival.
Yeah, we've
Yep.
supported it for a couple years. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited to see that coming. And beyond that, the Jazz Festival is ramping up. I think they have some really cool announcements coming up very soon on what the new kind of Jazz Festival looks like this year.
Wow. I
So
love
that's
that you're
exciting.
teasing that. Like, it's something to look forward to instead of it already being here.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
a major announcement, and we don't have all of the details about it yet, but there's a major announcement of a music festival that'll happen in Hazelwood Green in September, which I think is going to be a game changer for the city. So we're really excited about
Things
that.
No
you learn
kidding.
when Jared
Yeah.
comes on quarterly.
Breaking. We need a breaking news bumper
Yeah.
here very soon. Very soon.
And
It'll be
I
fun.
also
It'll be
want to
exciting.
mention your annual meeting is coming up, and you're very proud because we are having I almost said our mayor, our governor is coming in.
Yeah, so the lineup right at the moment, we've got all of the public officials coming out. So Governor Shapiro is scheduled to speak and open the annual meeting for us. And then, of course, we're really, Sarah Inamorado is a big supporter of the industry, so she's going to speak. And then, of course, Mayor Gainey is one of our most out and proud
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
We were
spokespersons
just
for
at
the
an event
industry.
We were at
yesterday.
an event. I wanted
Yeah.
to run through a wall after he
Yeah.
was done. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
doing anything
He
needs.
is a wonderful speaker. We also, whenever Mayor Gainey speaks for us, because he's such a powerful speaker, we always back him up with a video or something because no one can follow him.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
They mentioned
It's
that
such an
yesterday,
intense
yeah.
energy. It's
It's so
amazing.
true.
That's exactly right. All right.
Yeah.
So you know the rules here. First of all, let's give your website.
Visit Pittsburgh.com.
Right.
Easy.
Brand new website, by
Yes,
the way. You
phenomenal.
need to check it out.
Yeah, it's
We've been on it quite a
fantastic.
bit. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh, good,
yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Well,
I'm
we
glad.
try to give tidbits on what's happening, and then we credit, hey, we found this at Visit Pittsburgh kind of thing. But we
Yeah.
were also looking just to kind of run it down on our Mazda Mondays. So there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And go and check it out if you're a music fan. The list of all of the concerts, big and small, are on there.
Okay.
If you're an independent music fan or smaller kind of venue music fan, amazing stuff coming up this summer.
Okay.
Nice,
We
nice.
love it. We love when you visit, seriously.
Rule number 2 is we have a question of the day.
Okay.
I
it's
usually
easy.
try to go later in the segment, then I can hear everybody else's answer. But let's go.
I
Let's do it.
bombed last week. We had to actually call guests back to re-ask a question. That's how bad it was. So I promise I've redeemed myself.
Okay.
So I don't consider myself a huge TV watcher, but in the course of 47 years, I've certainly watched my share. Is there a certain theme song to a show that is always in your head that you're just like, oh, and you hum it or you sing it or you
That's
think
tough.
of it? Is it tough? Because you know what mine is? I'll tell you my go-to. Dun, 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 dun. Making my way in the world today takes everything you've got. It's Cheers.
I love that you broke into that song.
Oh, of
You're
course
like,
I did.
Rach, did you
I
ask me a
am
question?
not- exactly. And I am not kidding you.
Okay.
I'm not kidding you.
Okay.
That is exactly the theme song I would
Stop
have
it.
gone to. Yeah.
See, we're tight.
Yeah.
That's just
I don't know. I feel like I'm a more advanced in my life experience than you are, being older than you
That's
are.
very sweet,
But
yeah.
still, Cheers is that theme song. Like it
Yeah.
just it gets in your mind. And
Everyone
you
knows
just,
your
yeah.
name.
Everybody
That's
knows
so
your name.
Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
And it's a great
Absolutely.
show.
Now
Yeah.
the new rule is that we have a junk drawer theme here. So do you have something for our junk drawer?
I do. I opened my junk drawer and I found this bag, the sachet of different things, and I don't know if this is
Here,
not
want me to show it while you describe it?
this is not implying anything to either one of you, but it wards off bad spirits and bad juju. So there's some sage and there's some wood and there's a crystal in there. So I felt like, I don't know who needs it more between Rachel or John.
I love this.
But I felt
And I feel
like
like
you
you
could-
made that up. You just threw it all in a sack, and you were like, I'm going to tell them this story.
No, I saw it and I thought of you immediately. I was like, they need good vibes in their
love
life,
this.
and they're not.
Appreciate that.
They hold things at ransom for guests
is
to come
true.
back.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, there's some bad juju
There's
that they're
juju
putting out
going
there,
on.
so we need
Yeah.
to balance it with good.
Yeah.
So,
You're good.
Yeah.
Jared,
Listen,
we love having
you're an
you.
important person, and we appreciate the fact that you take time out of a Friday night to come with us.
Yeah,
So we
we
really
it's
really
a pleasure.
appreciate it.
We love it.
It's one of our favorite things to do. So thank you for the offer.
Thank you.
We
It's
enjoy
John
it.
and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night.
PittsburghUsedCars.com, with hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city. We provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com. Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
All right, we've got mac and fries, mac and fries. We've got stew and mac.
Tell us the process here in the north side about these fish fries. What happens here?
So the Elks, I've been a member of the Elks Lodge for almost 10 years. Fish fries happened way before me. We usually say we're about 400 meals served a week, and that's in a 2-hour service, 6 to 8. Last week, we served 537 meals. That was our biggest ever, and we've been counting since like 2015.
John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night, and we're hoping that you're checking out all of our Jeet Jets and Where You At's. The Where You At was fish fry. I mean, come on. Who doesn't do a fish fry at this time of year? I can't believe we're winding down the fish fries, but nonetheless, I am so excited because Pittsburgh is so 6 degrees, right? But in this case, it's like tugging at my heartstrings. So let me take you back. So my brother played, his claim to fame is that he played with this like legendary baseball player who was not a Pittsburgh Pirate. He left Pittsburgh and we were super proud of him, always talked all about him. And the next thing you know, if you've seen me do Mazda Monday, our dear friend Jay is friends with the one and only Ryan Douglas. He's back in Pittsburgh. He's been here. And we're super excited because I've gotten to not that I really knew you as a kid, but you know, Pittsburgh, we claim anything. We're like, oh yeah, my brother played with him. My dad coached him. And I think at some point, I don't know what I did, but somehow I knew.
He's my friend.
Yeah, there you go. But Pittsburgh is so proud of our own, but I'm so proud of you because you're doing such great things since you're back. So welcome.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rachel, John, I mean, I appreciate the chance just to be here, you know, I mean, talk about this. And I mean, I'm excited for my 18th annual Ryan Douglas Field of Dreams Baseball Clinic coming up. So it's hard to believe. I mean, I think age is a number, but 18 years now, I feel like I'm getting a little old. I don't know.
That's amazing.
So what do we have here?
Go ahead.
You describe it.
So my dad, of course, you know, my dad is my biggest supporter. He comes to all of our shows. He brought a little momentum that you took the time, and I'm assuming you were back in town from this note. Yes?
No, actually, that was shortly after I got drafted. I was down in Florida for my rookie ball when I was 18 years old.
Oh, my God.
And I remember my mom giving me all my letters and thank you letters and everything else I had to mail out to different people that had attended my graduation and everything else. So that was one of them. And looking at it briefly there, I had some stats on what I did pitching so far. And it was a fun time for me. I mean, I got drafted out of high school by the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
Played with that organization for 7 years, making up to AA, a couple big league games of spring training. 1 year with the Montreal Expo system when they were still running, and 1 year with the Washington Wild thing. So 9 years overall playing professionally. But yeah, I mean, Jack was awesome as a coach. It was a lot of fun.
That's so sweet.
And I still have stories and thinking back of his arm being sore, throwing BP
I
to
heard
his
him
kids,
just say, yeah.
trying to get ready for me.
But beautiful part is you're taking those experiences and you're applying them to other people, right? Because that was important to you to come back and give back. That is something we hear so often. Why was that important to you?
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up, I mean, camps, clinics, I mean, it costs a lot of money. I mean, I grew up in the city of Pittsburgh in Elliott West End, and my parents, I mean, they did everything they could for me and my brother growing up. So, I mean, doing these camps, it's absolutely free for children, 6 to 12 years old, boys and girls, and I want to teach them what I learned. So, I mean, I have 6 stations set up with pitching, hitting, fielding, infield, outfield, base running, and actually 2 years ago we just came up with a pickle rundown station. So I think the kids have a lot of fun with all that, running back and forth, just because the pre-registry of kids, I'm like, those are over 300 kids pre-registered the last 2 years, and I'm like, that's a lot of kids, so I got to make sure I have enough stations. But none of this would be possible without my sponsors and volunteers. I mean, they do a great job supporting me. My volunteers just give the time to be there and just give back to the kids. I think we have about 6 to 7 kids or guys that play professionally that are there. So these kids, they get great instruction along with guys that play collegially. So the main thing about all of it is to have fun. I mean, baseball is a game.
Yeah,
so I want the kids to have fun, learn from this, and take it into their season.
So this is cool in the fact that I think you probably take away more than the kids do, I'd have to think, because
probably
you're somewhat of a mentor in life, I guess. And so, you know, as you're pulling them together, teaching them to work together, they've never met each other.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, big time. I mean, baseball itself, I mean, it's a game, but you take a lot from it. You deal with adversity. Because, I mean, when I took them on the pitch, I didn't win every game, but I learned from it. I mean, the same thing with this. I mean, baseball, you're set up for failure. The best guys in the major leagues, in the Hall of Fame, get out 7 out of 10 times. So how do you deal with those 7 other times?
Right.
So, I mean, I tell kids when I work with them now, it's like you have to have a short-term memory. It's almost like 45 seconds. That's it. Because there's 2 sides of the ball, and you just got to play.
So it started 18 years ago. What did it look like then compared to now?
Well, it's
right?
funny.
Because it's so many. And can I just point out, you talked about being 18 when you left, and now this is your 18th year. I think you need to play the lotto or something. There's something about 18. And Jared brought a ward-off gift just in case that jinxed you. Yeah.
No, I mean, the very first one, which is crazy now, is it was 4 straight Saturdays in April, and I did 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So I did a 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So I did 8 the very first year.
Wow.
So it was a lot for my family, for my wife Kim and my boys. Well, they weren't even around yet. So just getting to this point. But I mean, all my helpers. But then as I've grown more and more now, for a while I was doing 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. But it's time. You know, again, the volunteers that come, they give the time to be there.
Yeah.
So now I just have one, and I mean, it's a great event. And then I invite all my volunteers to come back to the house to have a nice lunch and just hang out, because for them giving up their time, I want to thank them for what they do and being there for the kids as well. So.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So let's get the details.
Well, wait, can I point out, he did this before his own children. Often you hear that dads will start to, I said the word, dads. They coach because they're dads.
Yeah.
They start something because their children are involved. We all get involved in fundraising or boosters or whatever it is because we have children. You started this before you even had kids because it was that important to you as a former kid.
Well, I mean, luckily my wife Kim has been very supportive over all these years, because I mean, if you don't have that, you can't do anything. But I mean, with all my 3 sons, I want them to get involved in anything and everything with sports. I never pushed them to baseball, because I want them to live their lives. And I mean, once they dive into it, I'm there to support them in any way they can. So again, I enjoy helping and supporting people.
You do.
Mean, in my life, I mean, I work for a freight management firm, Target Freight Management, one of my supporters, sponsors for my clinic. I go around to meet companies to try to support them in their logistics. And it's who knows what's going to happen with that company.
That's
so
right.
again, it's the same scenario.
It's the same, Now you can test.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Give all the details. When, where, what time, how do people register?
Absolutely. It's actually in 3 weeks, so April 13th. It's going to be at RyanDouglas.com, so that's Douglas with 2 S's, so RyanDouglas.com.
Douglas.
You can pre-register 6 to 12-year-old boys and girls. And what's great with that is I have a couple girls, women that coached and played collegiately. They're there to help the girls. I have a Sam Bauer with the Goosehead Agency. She helps me out with the pitching. So she teaches the girls pitching when they come to my station, which is great. I mean, I know a little underhand, but nowhere near the softball. So it's grown a lot, which is great, because, I mean, I want the kids to learn maybe 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 drills that we do. They take into their season and, again, have some fun. So, again, Saturday, April 13th is the clinic itself. And then actually this year, it starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah. And where is it?
Westwood, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's right behind Westwood Elementary School. So Westwood Athletic
for
Association.
BHAA, we used to play there. I liked it there,
One thing I wanted to mention, too, in September 28th, I'm actually doing my very first golf outing. And what's kind of different with this is any of the proceeds that I get from this, I'm putting together scholarships for athletic associations so kids can play baseball and softball.
That is brilliant.
So
that is such a good idea.
And that's something my wife helped me with as well.
Kim.
Yeah, nice.
Boy,
Real
Kim,
quick
you're
here,
getting
because
kudos
we have
today.
some rules we have to follow, like it's a question of the day.
Yeah.
And we have, but how is it different as far as getting drafted up to those leagues now? Is it a lot different? Is it a little bit different?
It's definitely different because, I mean, I know with COVID and everything else, there's not as many rounds.
Okay.
I mean, I was a 13th rounder out of high school, which to me is respectable. You know, I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's a business in itself, too. So, I mean, you really got to put in the time and effort. So, I mean, a lot of these kids, there's a lot of travel programs, but it's behind the scenes. It's after practice or in the evening. Like, when you put in that time to get better on the little things.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my boys know it, but, I mean, anyone else, I'm like, it's not practice makes perfect. It's perfect. Practice makes perfect. So, you got to make sure you do the right things over and over to get better.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's a different, we've had this conversation, each of us having children, like it's a different world now.
Oh, yeah.
When we played, whatever sport we played, I didn't act like I was MLB or anything. I didn't want anybody to think I was a baseball player. But like whatever sport you played it and then like, oh, basketball's next.
Correct.
And then that was done. And then whatever's next. It's not like that anymore.
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to imagine like a 3-star athlete in high school anymore. Because, I mean, like to me back in the day, like those kids were amazing athletes.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's just hard right now because people focus when they're 8 years old, they got to do travel like 10 months out of the year. I'm like, what? Like, so again, there's sports. So that's why I said with my sons, like, it's certain sports going to pull you, and you realize you're a little bit better at that, so you might as well do that.
Yeah,
so.
that's it. All right, one more time, your website.
RyanDouglas.com.
Two S's.
2 S's, yep.
Yeah, love it. All right.
All right.
And do you want to go junk drawer or do you want to go
question of the
day? Making your way in the world. Why am I doing that? Because the question is, what does Jay Obertans hate that I do? No, I'm just kidding. So I'm sure you're not a big TV watcher, but we've all watched certain sitcoms. What is that show theme song that really resonates or sticks with you?
Ooh, man.
And I know you're younger than me, but not by much. So Cheers was like, was Cheers even on? I think it was still on when I was younger. I think it was like in the
One
later.
of the funny ones to me is like Married with Children. And I think like
that's a good one. Love and marriage. Yeah.
I mean, with him always talking about his high school days as quarterback, getting back.
That's
always funny. So, I mean, when you hear those certain songs, I'm like, okay, yeah.
You
so,
go back to Al Bundy.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's awesome.
Funny.
All right. So what did you bring us? Other than, can we point these out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. These were our gifts. These are not just junk. These aren't junk. So they couldn't be our junk drawer gifts. I could not believe it. They are the bad handle. I couldn't think of the word. And it's a shot glass, right?
Yeah. My buddy Chris, the dugout mugs. He makes mugs out of like the bats. So all my volunteers that help me out every year, I get them something. So this year we're doing the shot glasses. So
That's
you
such a clever idea.
Yeah. He's got your thing. It's all initials.
Yeah.
Ridifun.
Are you kidding? You know it's Ryan Douglas. Okay. I just want to make sure he knew. Go ahead. Ryan Douglas, Field of Dreams, in case you didn't know.
So junk drawer, I mean, great email. So I thought about it. So I looked at my junk drawer.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is Cuban Paradise. I mean, I'm a big cigar smoker.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So they're based out of Florida. It's a father-son from Cuba. I mean, really good cigars. But I thought the best part about this was when I opened it up, there was one match. So I'm going to give it to you guys, and it's like true emergency. I mean, if you got to get to it, there's one match.
In case we cook fish one night, that's the only match.
That's the best, is when something's missing. I love when people give us like bogus junk drawer. That is the perfect junk drawer.
So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, this will work.
We will remember that. Yes. No, we appreciate it. Ryan Douglas, you do such good. Thank you so much for swinging by. And, we have to sort of lead in here. Is this okay to do now? Because he's actually the recipient, the charity of choice that Jay Obertans chose, and Jay is in our strawberry jello pretzel salad contest. He's the winner from last year. So
is that why Ryan wore strawberry colored
yes.
shirts? Yes.
That's the reason for the color. So you won what, $250 or $500 last year?
It was $250 from each company.
Yeah,
KB Plumbing. I mean, Ben sent me another check for this year. So he's been a great supporter
Amazing.
too. The clinic, so
That's wonderful to hear.
Yep.
And so these people, we get small businesses to obviously contribute to the charities, and let's hope that you win again this year.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I have faith in Jay. I know he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah. All right. So we'll see. Are we gonna talk to Jay
at some point?
I think we're talking to him next. Stay with us on YaJagoff Late Night.
If my younger self could see me doing these things now, I wouldn't believe it. To be a steam fitter, you need to be a problem solver. You can do instrumentation, hydronics, chillers, rigging, HVAC. I have this wonderful opportunity to grow my career.
It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are. Over 100 years, and we're just getting started.
Welcome to Fernandez. Can I take your orders?
You need a tappet?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwiches to cook. Here we go.
Let's dig in.
It's John and Rachel. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig. I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
It's Monica. We're hanging out in Sharpsburg this week for Where You At, and I'm joined by Nancy Goldberg, Ketchup City creative owner. Now, Nancy, give me some background on you because you've been in this business and what we're going to talk about in a little bit, but give me the background.
So we're coming up on 5 years of Ketchup City Creative being a place. I started it because I taught in Fox Chapel Area School District for 31 and a half years. I was a middle school art teacher. And the kids in Sharpsburg always felt like they just, I don't know, it's an interesting mix of people in our district. And they didn't feel proud enough about their town. And I had been working down here for about 10 years doing different community projects. So I thought, well, I'm going to open a gallery. I'm going to open a community space. And it became kind of cool to catch Miss Goldberg down in Sharpsburg. And also it was cool to, like, at the time, it wasn't TikTok. I forget. They would,
like Vine or something?
Yeah, it was like Vine. And they were like, you're on a Vine for the weekend. I was like, okay, cool.
John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night. Monica went to visit Ketchup City Creative. Make sure you say creative because they get angry if you don't. So glad that she went. John and I are actually headed over there on Sunday so that we could see the final day of having our friend from, where was he? Kenya?
No, Nairobi.
Yeah. Nairobi. That's right. Yeah.
Nairobi? Yeah.
So
Kenya. Is that
okay. Yeah, look at that.
Both
look at
right.
Rach.
How about
look
that?
Rach knowing her geography. Anyway,
is it to the south or the north?
I forget. I forget. Jay Obertans, it is so weird seeing you in this element instead of it's just another Mazda Monday. Whoa. Come on, John, give me a whoa.
Everybody sing it with Rachel. Ready?
Please don't.
You sing it.
Sunday.
Wait, get everybody to sing it. Ready? No. Sing it. Sing it.
Okay, it's just another Mazda Monday. Whoa. Oh, that was weak. It was weak.
That was a whole lot of prep
and weak.
for good reason.
Jay, that was a whole lot of prepping for nothing.
I think they are trying to hint what you should be, Rachel.
So that voice sounds familiar if you watch any of our Mazda Mondays. We love going over to Rohrich Mazda to see Jay every Monday.
Because we have fun.
Yeah, we have so much fun.
We literally have fun.
We never know what we're going to get with you. What did we tell you before you sat on this seat?
They're just like, okay, don't talk about my life. Don't swear. Like, I have been coaxed, you guys, so my hands are tied. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth on this segment.
We can't bleep you. So.
Like, I could. They at least gave me permission to breathe. So, you know, it's baby steps, you guys.
You are here because you are the reigning champion of the Strawberry Jello Pretzel Salad annual event, year number 2, the standoff. And you guys won. And you won on behalf of Ryan Douglas, right?
We did, and honestly, like, I still go back, like, what a great event. Like, I just, A, it's a Pittsburgh staple, and B, I just think it's so cool that people can kind of get together. I mean, for me, cooking has always kind of been a passion because I always found that when you cook, people show up. Yeah. So it's kind of like a social thing, too, and it's really cool to actually kind of have that with this competition because so many people get to show up, sample, it's free, it's a great way to blow an afternoon, but more importantly is it actually benefits charities.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's kind of a win-win for everyone involved.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, the cool part is the charities that are there, maybe they don't win the money, but they get all kinds of recognition.
They get recognition.
Yeah.
People know that they're there, and that's why I think it's such a great event, and I'm very, very excited for this year.
So you're so excited that last Sunday I saw on social media you were doing some trial runs, and then I got a text from a friend, Ethan, that said I may be getting a surprise, and I knew what it was. It's what I'm holding.
This year, that's what I'm making for the competition this year, something a little bit different.
Sure.
But it's one of my first trial runs, but I'm very, very big that I won't serve anything unless I have made it multiple times.
Know.
So I did a lot of testing for this to kind of figure it out. Still needs some tweaking, but I'm hoping that I can give Ryan Douglas Field of Dreams, a second win this year.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident I can. So.
We have 2 small businesses who are already in, and I think we're getting more. So the hope is to build the prize money for the charity so that the more they get, the more they receive, right?
And honestly, anything I think is great.
It's
whether
true.
It's small, whether it's large, I just think it's great for the fact that, as John had mentioned, charities are getting recognition, and some charities, as in last year, for instance, Ryan actually got $500, which helps out his camp tremendously.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the cool thing is that you get to show up and just eat for free for those that are.
I know, right?
It's kind of cool. The key to your success was not only a good product, but you had a fantastic Barker crew.
Their
you had
team,
music.
They had shirts,
right?
headbands.
You're like, get over it.
Confetti.
I don't even know how we are going to top that last year. And the sad thing is, I owe my husband so much credit because I unfortunately was not able to even be in attendance last year.
Do you know that's why it's Sunday?
Really?
Yes, we thought of you. Of course. We were like, Jay could come.
But it's the Lord's Day, Rachel.
I
My
know.
God.
I know. But all 11 others, we were like, sorry, Jay can be here on Sunday.
I'm excited. So, no, it was really, really funny because prepping it for last year, it was crazy. Like, you would have thought Kim and Ethan were literally planning a life trip together because she was at the house, they were putting up billboards, how do we want the billboard to look, I was assembling the parfaits and Ethan's just no, that one needs more strawberry, and I'm just oh my God, they had strawberry shirts. In fact, I have a strawberry bow tie that I was supposed to wear to last year, so I will be in a strawberry bow tie for this event.
Jay, it is phenomenal.
I have my mouth full, so you have to take us to the next segment.
But it's still
everybody, this is your Jagoff Late Night.
Everybody, this is your Jagoff Late Night.
Wow, that was phenomenal. Jay, that was...
At People's Natural Gas, we provide clean, safe, reliable natural gas. We're always looking to get cleaner as we continue to protect our environment. And that's also why we support organizations like the National Aviary that are focused around the clock on conservation. Let's hear from them about some of their efforts.
A lot of people know about the National Aviary, but not a lot of people know all the conservation work that the National Aviary does. We are part of a lot of conservation work out in the field, and we do things here at the National Aviary. Staff members like myself are part of a lot of different projects. To learn more about the conservation work that the National Aviary does, you can check out our website, aviary.org.
We're also always working to make our environment cleaner through our work. That's why we've reduced emissions since 2019 by 17% over 2019 figures.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
PittsburghUsedCars.com, with hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city. We provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com. Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night. Nothing like a little Jay Obertans to start your Friday night. He always brings us joy. And again, you have to check out our strawberry jello pretzel salad, April the 21st at the Block Northway. Tons of purveyors and great charities. So come check it out and taste away. How about this guest who we have? She corrected me because I was like, I thought we were on a first syllable. I was like, Kel. Right? I was like, what's up, Kel? And she's like, it's Kelley Jeanne.
And you're like, it's Rachel with 2 A's.
I was like, Rachel 2 A's, girl. Yeah. No, I'm totally
You're like,
kidding.
yeah.
I made sure that I was saying it right because typical John and Rachel, we have a story behind it. If you were listening, 3 weeks ago, you came with Flower Powers Amy, and she introduced us to the fact that you travel between Nashville and here. It turns out we have similar friends. Here we are. And you were coming back to Pittsburgh because you have a new album that just dropped. So we were like, come on.
New single, so one song.
Okay,
so
sorry. I said album because I'm old.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just
It's a really long song.
today.
You're good, girl.
Oh no,
You're good.
It's a 47-minute song, so it's an album.
Don't worry, I'll just put my hex. It's all good. No, go ahead.
Yes, no, I'm dropping a new single on April 4th.
Okay.
So I'm so excited. It's called Who Says, and yeah, I'm just really excited about it. I wrote it with Noah Henson, who is actually the lead guitarist and band leader for Brantley Gilbert. So I don't know if you know country music, but I was so excited to write with him. He was one of the first big writers that I ever wrote with. I stayed up all night, thinking of hooks to go into this writing session with, and I was driving by these cows, and if you know me, I love cows. So I stopped on the side of the road. I saw these cows. I was in love with them. I saw this John Deere tractor, and I was like, oh dang, I don't know much about a John Deere, but I can shotgun the hell out of a cold beer. And I was like, that's a cool line for a song. I'm gonna keep it.
Wait, so did you pull over and write it? Did you voice to text it? What did you do?
I post-it noted it, but I do that when I'm driving sometimes. Oh my gosh, don't come after me, Pittsburgh police.
You're fine. No, you're fine.
But yes, no, I love cows, so if I see them, I'll stop on the side of the road. I don't know. They're my favorite animal.
I mean, did you grow up around cows?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Which is what I would come from a very Italian family, so we ate meatballs and beef all the time. So all of a sudden I'm driving from
going?
I don't know. I'm trying to drive.
I'm tracking you. Go ahead.
It's chaotic. I'm driving from Pittsburgh to Nashville.
Yeah.
And I see all these cows in Kentucky, and I'm like, oh my God, they're grass puppies. They're just rolling around in the grass. I find out about them. They make friends for life. They hold grudges. They're motivated by food. And I'm like, I am a cow. That is my spirit animal. So I was like, I can't eat them.
When we were talking music, and now
I know. Now we're talking cows.
We're talking grass
Oh
puppies.
my God,
Yeah,
bovine.
puppies.
Yeah, it's bovine music.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, pretty cool. So you grew up here in Pittsburgh?
No, my dad was in the military. So I was born in Italy, moved around everywhere, was in Maryland. But I went to University of Pittsburgh. I got my degree in chemistry and my minors in mechanical engineering, polymer engineering, and bioengineering. So
I'm so confused by this interview.
Very
There's
confused.
so much happening.
It's so chaotic.
God,
yes.
it's not chaotic. It's awesome. You're and you're and I love moonshine. I actually walked over to her and was like, so is there a connect? Would you like us to talk about your moonshine? And she's like, no, there's no connection.
No connection.
Sort of
I just love moonshine.
connect the dots. Yeah.
No, and it's in the song. So pairs perfectly.
Yeah. I love that. So you loved being at the University of Pittsburgh. So it sort of made you embrace Pittsburgh.
Yes,
And
this was the place I was the longest. It's kind of became home for me. I have a ton of, that's where I met Chase. He's from Greensburg. So shout out to Greensburg, right?
Shout out to Greensburg.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's never happened on our podcast before.
It has. It actually
First time,
has.
shout out to Greensburg. It's never been said. Yeah.
But Hill to Pitt, number one.
Yeah, same.
It was so funny because I was playing on Broadway just the other day, and it was Duquesne was playing BYU March Madness, and I was like, oh my gosh, go Duquesne, heck yeah! And the waiters came up to me, and the people came up to me, they're like, Duquesne, that's how you pronounce it. We were saying Duquesne, and I was like, no, it's Duquesne. I'm from there, okay?
You're I may have been born in Italy and I live in Nashville half the time, but I'm Pittsburgh.
Yes,
I'll tell you the story another time. No, I love the fact that you represent us and that you wanted to come back here to even talk about dropping your single.
Yeah, no, we come back here a ton just because our family, our friends, and I really consider Pittsburgh my hometown. Like I said, the place I was
longest. They bring in.
I know, and they just keep you. So I really miss it. I haven't found good pizza down in Nashville or good fish fries either. There are no fish fries down there.
Do you really think our pizza is that great?
I mean, it's better than Nashville.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot better than Nashville. I probably shouldn't say that.
No one in Nashville's listening, I promise.
Good.
Yeah.
Unless we have, Kirsty.
Right.
Yeah, that's about it. So what is it about our pizza? Not to like get off the subject, but you've been on 6 subjects, so I think it's okay for me to jump on.
It's the moonshine. I just love pizza, so I love trying all of them. I don't know what it is.
What do you think, Chase?
It's a lot better.
No.
It's all
I think the
around better,
cheese to crust ratio is really good.
Do you like thick crust, thin crust? It depends on the day.
It depends on the day. I like any crust, to be honest, but it needs to be a little bit cheesy.
Cheesy, I got you.
Cheesy with lots of pepperoni.
There's a lot missing from the Nashville pizza that you
and it's super
find up
expensive too.
here.
Okay.
It's expensive
everything in Nashville
and
is
it's
expensive.
It's just worse. I'm sorry, Nashville. It's just worse.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So Chase, what's your story? So you live in Greensburg.
Yeah, I was I was born in Virginia, moved to Greensburg at an early age. I was like 6, 7, whatever, and I spent like 20 years there. In my mid 20s, I inherited a business from my uncle, and I took that over. So I was like making a
Grandview Laundromat.
Yeah, shout out to Grandview
There you
Laundromat.
go.
But
do your wash.
You gotta wash your laundry on Thursday. So I was like making just a business deposit like one day, and like the bank teller was like, "Hey, you have a credit card offer waiting for you at the table." And normally I just say no to these things, like it's just innate, But for some reason I said yes, and then I met her mutual friend Paul, and we talked about the thing. It was like, what do you like to do for fun? And it was
like look at cows.
Yeah, look at
and
grass
moonshine.
puppies, yeah. But I was like, I like to work on music, and I was like, oh, what do you play? I was like, guitar, and it was like, oh, that's funny. My friend's looking for a guitar player, and I was like, it was so like, whatever. He sent me this like long message like afterwards, and I was like really close.
And
to
we
just
met at a Buffalo Wild Wings in West Mifflin. Okay, I'm just shouting out all the businesses today.
Yeah.
Right, you're like a race car.
Shout out Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, I don't know where to go. Okay, yeah.
All right.
But so I actually just said whatever, and it was
super cool.
Yeah. And then
we got started.
We've been doing it ever since. It's going on like 5 years now. We lost like a couple years to COVID, but everybody did, so it was just but yeah, it's been a blast, been a trip, honestly.
Okay, and you enjoy chemistry right away.
Kind of, yeah. Actually, like what happened was, what happened was like we sat down.
At first, it was
we
a
sat down. We were
rough.
playing. We were just going like over Zombie, like just like some simple song.
Yes.
And it was just like,
so people when
Cranberry
they hear,
Zombie?
yeah. So when people ask me to sing, they
won't
ask
do
me
it.
to sing They ask you to sing the Cranberries, Alanis Morissette, or Gretchen Wilson. It's like a combination of those. Yeah. So yes. Okay. Well, I'm your fave then.
Yeah.
No. So they always ask me to sing that song. So we were just practicing and just going over things, and I don't think he played for a while at first. So like when I first met him, I looked at my friend, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work out, but it did. It worked out. We're here. So
I didn't know that at the time.
He just found out.
It just thinks
right now.
Okay, John, take us to where we need to be.
All right. So do you know our question of the day?
I think I might have overheard it. I was talking a bit.
All right. So what is a theme song, a TV theme song that you would use as your sort of motivation?
Oh, as my motivation?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was thinking Vanderpump Rules. Do you know that reality trashy TV? Love that theme song. I'll go with that one.
Chase is looking at us.
He's
Chase?
like, oh no. I brought him into the trashy TV world. Like,
okay.
She actually
I
did.
did.
Yeah,
Love is Blind. I mean, yes.
I'm watching that.
Oh, I'm literally
watching.
watching.
I looked ahead.
Tracy told me that last week you guys asked about celebrity lookalike, and I would have been like Megan Fox because of Love is Blind. But
Yeah. There you go.
Which I don't think that viewers don't come at me like you came at Chelsea, okay?
Yeah. Anywho, so you know nothing about TV, right?
Nothing.
So you're like, I don't even know what she said. Yep, it's all
over
over.
my head. You might as well be talking about home decorations.
Yeah. But
right.
I
can talk about that.
I spy with my eyes some moonshine. Is that a junk drawer gift, perhaps? No.
These are my junk drawer gifts.
Or is that yours?
This is my good drawer.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll hold them up. You describe them. I'll hold them up.
Okay. So
John, that is so fitting.
I don't know. That was just in my drawer, and I was like, this is kind of looking demonic, so I'm going to pass it off to someone else. So,
isn't it a unicorn?
Good luck. It is, but it kind of looks crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I'm so sorry. But I was invited to the NHL All-Star drafting game, and they gave us this little tag. and I am not a Predators fan. I will root for the Predators when I'm down there, but it has been in my junk drawer. So
that was so nice of you and very thoughtful. John always tells me that I'm negative, and that if someone says, "Oh, there's a unicorn," I would find something negative. So it's very ironic that you brought a unicorn. Yeah, it's really a bad topic with us, but we'll fight later, so it's no big deal.
We're glad you started it.
Well, thank you very much.
You are
Chase,
so
what did
welcome.
you bring? Or are you a joint gift?
So what did I bring?
I
was thinking that was what I was.
He's
gonna
like,
use
wait,
for
I
the-
need
Yeah,
that
he
later.
needs it.
Yeah.
You need to use
I didn't
it.
want to jump to
We could
conclusions.
probably like
This
the one
is
from
what
our
I-
junk drawer
Yeah,
or the
this is
talking
what I
pickle.
brought. Yeah.
We can link to the talking
perfect.
pickle.
I have like 50 million of them.
There you
And,
go.
Okay. Do you
I never know.
collect
Accidentally.
Okay.
Yeah.
He loses them and then he
I feel like
finds
we have to
them.
ask Kelley Jeanne. Does he collect them, Kelley Jeanne?
It's like the pennies. Keep a penny, take a penny,
There
right?
you go.
Keep a pick, take a
with,
pick.
With guitar. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there you
So
go.
we're really
Yeah.
excited because we get to hear you. So where can everybody find you and learn more about your music? And they want to get the new single, right?
Okay, yes. The pre-save is live. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Kelley Jeanne. There's extra E's and N's and all of it, but do you guys post?
Just do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
just do it.
Yeah.
At Miss Kelley Jeanne, TikTok at Miss Kelley Jeanne. Yeah, I think that's where you can find it. And it's Who Says is the name of the single, and I'm so excited.
All right, we're going to hear it next. 412 Dues, thanks to the folks at Made in PGH. And then we're going to hear the song, YaJagoff Late Night.
Hey everyone, it's Channing with Made in PGH. For those of you who don't know me, I am a content creator and event strategist with Made in PGH. We are a resource for all things Pittsburgh, whether it's a new restaurant, Pittsburgh staples, places to visit, things to do, just all the things. So make sure you follow us at Made in PGH on Instagram and Facebook and madeinpgh.com. Okay, first thing on the 4-1 to-dos list this week is our Best Bites event. April 27th, noon to 4, mark your calendars. It is taking place in the Strip District, so we're super excited to bring back our favorites, of course, some of the Pittsburgh staples, and we're also bringing on some new restaurants as well. So for those of you who don't know, our Best Bites event is a self-guided restaurant tasting tour. So fun. It sells out every single time we do this. And it's a chance for you to explore a Pittsburgh neighborhood that maybe you haven't really walked around in yet or haven't discovered some of these restaurants. So be sure to stay tuned on our Instagram at MadeInPGH for the ticket information. Tickets will officially go on sale March 26th. And you'll be able to choose from the upper tour or the central tour. So just to name a few on those lists, the central tour will consist of Saluna, Woolies, Mancini's, Permani's, PA Market, so many to choose from. And the upper tour will consist of Pittsburgh Winery, Cadence Cellars Speakeasy, Wiggle Whiskey, Chipino's, so many amazing stops. So it's gonna be hard to choose, but again, we sell out every year. So make sure you stay tuned on March 26th on our Instagram page for the ticket link. And we hope to see you on April 27th. All right, next on the list is fish fry season. I know we are coming to a close, but for those who still want to get one or two more fish sandwiches in during this season, we came up with a little roundup of different places around Pittsburgh where you can get an amazing fish sandwich. It's always nice to switch it up and support other local restaurants. So first on our list is Sieb's Pub. They're located in the North Hills. They have such a family vibe. When you walk in there, you really do feel like family. Their fish is made to order with the freshest ingredients, and they are available through Friday, March 29th. Next on the list is Remo's Catering. They are available on Fridays through March 29th as well. Includes giant fish sandwiches, crab cakes, lobster rolls, lobster mac and cheese, and chicken or shrimp po' boys. So what else could you possibly want? That sounds like heaven to me. Next up is Allegheny Elks Lodge, located on the north side. Again, available through March 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. every Friday. Next up is a true Pittsburgh staple, Hofstadt's Cafe Monaco. It's been open for over 40 years, and they're located in Oakmont. They actually have a fish fry drive-thru, and it is cash only, so make sure you look out for that. And of course, we have the classic Woolies Market. And that's all I have for you this week for the 4-1 to-dos. I hope to see you guys at our Best Bites event, and make sure you follow along at MadeInPGH and madeinpgh.com. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.
Hi, I'm Kelley Jeanne, and this is Chase, and this is my song, Who Says? Kick it, Chase. Baptized in the waters of the Allegheny, these roots forged in steel. Don't get it twisted, ain't just another city, baby. I can still tear it up on 4 wheels. We get our hands dirty, same as the South. Mama's round, you better watch your mouth. And another thing, don't forget about church on Sunday. Who says you gotta grow up in the Carolina Pines to get your moonshine on? Who says you gotta be raised in the holler, be a little blue around the collar? Who says you need a 20-inch lift kit to cut through all the bullshit? Who says city girls ain't supposed to be rednecks? I don't know much about a John Deere, but I can shotgun the hell out of a cold beer. Sweet tea drinking, collard green eating, boots down, bottoms up, tip the bottle, not the cup. You ain't the boss of me. I can be country if I wanna be. Who says you gotta grow up in the Carolina Pines to get your moonshine on? Who says you gotta be raised in the holler, be a little blue around the collar? Who says you need a 20-inch lift kit to cut through all the bullshit? Who says city girls ain't supposed to be rednecks? Can't break me, can't tame me, redneck woman like Gretchen, baby. I'm a redneck woman like Gretchen, baby. Who says you gotta grow up in these Carolina Pines to get your moonshine on? Who says you gotta be raised in the holler, be a little blue around the collar? Who says you need a 20-inch lift kit to cut through all the bullshit? Who says city girls ain't supposed to be rednecks? Who says city girls ain't supposed to be rednecks?
Oh, I had to like jump down and grab my mic. That was fantastic, you guys. That was so much fun.
Who says? You said, "Well, shh."
I know. Yeah, you did that really, really well. I was like, do we need to like somehow come censor you? Yeah. Oh my gosh, so funny. So, were you nervous? A little bit? No.
No, I love to sing. So
Okay.
A little bit always, because you always want to be a teeny bit nervous or you don't really care. But yes, I love singing, so I just love it.
Okay. So April 4th.
Yes.
Okay.
April 4th, it's a Thursday. That's when it comes out, and I'm so excited. I love it.
All right, cool. Thanks to Rohrich Automotive for being our sponsor. Thanks to Q92.9 for where we are every week.
Thanks to People's Gas, and thanks to Jay Obertans for coming, because guess what? It's just another Mazda Monday. People,
You heard it.
still weak.
Jagoff, see you next week.